And you're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Punchline.
And we're getting set up, guys.
We are always running late because
my phone is probably going to fall about 5 more times.
Me and Kelly are fucked up, so we're always going to be late. Look at it was like when we had the.
I need a firm holder.
I don't know what we got. The other mic.
Oh, yeah, Justine. Can you hand me that box over there?
That red box.
Is it heavy?
Or the second mic.
Oh, smart ass.
It's heavy enough to hold your phone.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Remember on the Zoom? I can't see nothing. I can't see it. Justin's yelling at me. I can't see shit.
Well, guys, we are going to be hopping on here soon.
Are we on? We're on right now, right?
You guys are live.
Yeah. I can't see nothing, Justin.
That's your fault.
Like nothing showing up on Facebook.
Why? Because ain't nobody talking on Facebook.
No, but it would like the show shows up. You know what I mean?
No, it's on. Just having trouble getting any of my apps loaded up.
Sir, it's not on.
Oh, it's on.
It's not.
It's working.
There it is. I see it. All right. We're fucking around. Jason Gower's on here.
We've got 7 people watching on Facebook.
Yeah, now we see it.
Well, it doesn't matter if you see it. You just need
What's up,
to
Esteban?
listen to me.
Other people are watching with you. That's true. Let me see here. Jason's fight of the year, and does Loma outclass Lopez? I think Loma's gonna outclass Lopez. I think he's gonna win pretty easy. I've been thinking about it, and I think that Lopez has been doing a lot more talking than getting ready, and I think that he may be pissing Loma off to where he's gonna make an example of him. And I don't think he's gonna knock Lopez out, but I would not be surprised if he quits on a stool or just gets outclassed for 12 rounds.
What's up, Emilio? What's up, Furman? I don't know in that fight. It's hard. I mean, it's one of the fights where anything can happen. Teofimo could come in and be the young blazing guns and just shine. And he's strong. He looks a lot bigger than Lomachenko. Yeah. A lot more physical. He's fast. And then on the flip side of it, it's probably more likely that Lomachenko will box the shit out of him and teach him a valuable lesson.
Don't you think though? We were talking about this the other day, but don't you think with Lomachenko's style, he's one of the very few that can nullify your size? You might be a bigger guy, but he knows how to nullify your size and take that away from you.
Size don't mean that much, and he said that. You know, we've seen both of that. The quote that he had. You know, everybody says this. He says the same thing about me.
And until they get
into the ring. So
you know, I think with the style that Lomachenko has, he's one of the very few that can take a fighter. There's a bunch of them that could, but from what this generation, he takes, other than Floyd used to do the same thing, but Lomachenko takes a fighter's strengths and uses his strengths against him. He might use that big, strong guy and tire him out by just moving on him and moving and spinning him and doing things that he's not seen before.
Yep. Furman says, I say it will be a Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus a young Saul Alvarez.
I can see it. And don't get me wrong, I love Teofimo Lopez. I think Teofimo Lopez is the second best lightweight in the world. And he may be the first after next week. We don't know. Yep. But right now, I would say that the sky's the limit. Win or lose for him, he's in a good spot.
Unless he really gets beat up, which a lot of people were saying Lomachenko don't hit that hard.
Shit.
Lomachenko hits hard enough to make people quit.
We've heard him hit people, haven't we?
Yeah.
It sounds like gunshots cracking when he hits you in the body.
When he digs in, he can pop.
Well, was that when he's fighting Sosa? We could hear him.
Oh yeah.
In the back.
He started getting confident. He started teeing off. Trent says
that's not Loma's style though. Loma's not wanting to.
No, but he'll tap and boom. Got Pavlik Taylor HBO fight poster hanging up. Awesome, Trent. Appreciate it.
Darren says if Teofimo doesn't catch him, then Loma will probably frustrate him. And the thing is, Loma has a decent chin. You're just not going to hit this guy and run over him. I mean, it's going to take more than one good shot to knock him out. This isn't Comey.
They used Linares again. I think Teofimo's really fast. I think he's got quick hands. Yeah. But Lomachenko got dropped. They're saying because he got dropped by Linares.
Linares hits hard.
He hits hard, and he's one of the got the fastest hands. One of the fastest hands
Yes.
in the sport. I mean,
Yes.
Linares is. It wasn't like it was some slow guy hitting Lomachenko and dropping him. Linares is a super fast hands.
And when he can crack.
Yeah.
Linares can crack. Paul says, happy Sunday, Paul. Joe's up, boys. And I'm thinking Teal will have his moments, but I agree Loma will outclass him. I agree with Paul too. Scott's, what's up, guys? How you doing, Scott? I've been thinking about this fight, and I'm happy it's free, aren't you?
Yeah.
We can afford wings.
Well, I don't really have to worry about that problem, but
are you talking about my finances?
no, you brought them up.
I can afford wings this week.
Man.
No, I'll be
Yeah, it's either like the fight or
wings.
wings. Yeah.
Hey, don't ask me that. I'll pick the games every time over the fight.
Yeah, right.
I'll record the fight.
Uncle Sham says, I think Tio is going to get knocked out or quit. Trent says if Tio gets desperate, Loma could stop him. I think Tio got beat by that Japanese guy. I don't think he got beat by that Japanese guy, but you know what? It was an ugly fight for Teofimo, but
everybody has one.
He fought a 6'1" lanky
dude.
6'1" at 135. Come on, guys. You tell me somebody that looks good against a guy like that.
Esteban has a good question, Kelly. Loma versus Lopez. How much will their trainers and corners factor? I think it's going to factor more for Teofimo than it will Loma. At this point, there's not too much his trainer can tell Loma that Loma don't know. Loma's been around this business. All he's going to, like, Loma's corner is going to go over what they've done in camp and what they need to do.
Well, the big part of it comes down in the corner, though, because sometimes it's what a fighter can't see that he might be doing wrong. And on the flip side of it, Teofimo, I think the only mistake that his dad's making is what we just talked about. I was watching that Blood, Sweat, and Tears part one, and his dad kept saying, like, look, it's just side to side. We can neutralize that. And again, a lot easier said than done.
And they, like Loma said, everybody says it, but nobody does it.
Exactly. So we'll see. I mean, this is a great. Everything that is behind it and what is being built up as is great. I feel the same way about it. Like, I just want to see the fight.
Jason says, trainer aside, be honest, does amateur pedigree really matter at this level? Of course, his amateur pedigree matters at this level. Your amateur level is what sets the basis for your pro. I mean, it's different. Don't get me wrong. And Kelly will answer that. Kelly will tell you the same thing. But it sets your base. That amateur level sets your base. Everything you do is because of that amateur level, and then you refine that as a professional.
Yeah. Emilio X got a good one here. He said, Steve, first let's get Steve Connor. A long time no see, guys. Hey, Steve, thanks for tuning back in. Emilio says, Kelly, my coach keeps telling me to dig my toes in the ground when punching with full torque. Any tips on that? Listen, when you punch, you automatically, the pivot and the way the torque is, you should dig in. But to say dig in on purpose and dig in with your toes, I would not suggest that, because it's going to make you just a guy that looks for that big shot, winding up and being flat-footed. Listen, what hurts people in boxing is the punches that they don't see, or that they pick up on late. You want to just be able to still have that torque. With the right training and the right technique, you should be able to generate that no matter what, as much as you can. And some people have it as a gift, and some don't. But no, I would not sit there and work on digging my feet into the ground and throwing hard punches.
If your technique is solid, you don't need to be told that. It just happens.
Yeah.
If you have solid technique, your body's going to work in homeostasis. That means everything's going to be on point. Everything's going to work perfect. You're going to throw with that foot dig. You're going to throw with your thighs and your butt, and your hips are going to turn over, and your back. Everything's going to go.
And that all comes down to who's training you at the beginning. Not knocking your trainer.
No,
it's not. It's just that I would not teach a guy, especially if he's been doing it for some time now. I wouldn't tell him to dig his feet into the mat and fire hard punches.
Especially in the amateur program.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to dig and knock people out of the amateur. I'm looking to score points. It's a whole different ball game. Because when you dig, you're setting yourself up to be countered too. So,
but it depends on what. Yeah, that's why I'm not there to understand. the question, because you're digging if you throw the right hand right and you're turning the way you're naturally,
Yeah.
not without trying to, your foot is digging into the mat, your
Yes.
back foot.
But
It's going to pivot in.
Where I'm lost at is when he says with the toes.
That's what
I've always dug with. If I was in a dig, I dug with the ball of my feet. You know what I mean? The heel, the front. That
ridge.
front ball of your bridge. I dug there, but never with my toes. It made me think of like a Barbie. Remember how Barbie walked?
Yeah, I mean, all I could think of is your fighter is just worrying about trying to plant his feet to the ground and throw a hard punch, and then see, if you're not a knockout puncher, you definitely don't want to do that.
No.
Uncle Sham, Loma hasn't fought in over a year.
No big deal.
Will that be a factor?
No, I don't think so. Most fighters don't fight but once every. A lot of fighters don't fight but once a year.
I mean, any longer, I think it could be an issue, but no, I think he'll be fine.
Loma's training regimen is pretty hardcore anyway, even when he's not fighting. So I'm saying it doesn't take the place of fighting, but it damn sure can get close if you're sparring regular and you just keep active somehow. A lot of fighters, they sit and they don't train and they eat, and then that's where it's going to take.
I have to disagree. There's no way of making up for ring rust, but conditioning and
you can get close.
Like that.
That's what I'm talking about. Your conditioning levels though can get close.
Absolutely.
It's when you're sitting and laying in bed, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Here's one. Darren says Teofimo has been moved very quickly for someone who doesn't have the amount of amateur experience of Loma. He has passed every test so far, but not sure he's seen anything like Loma. I don't think he's seen anything like Loma either.
No, but you don't need 400 amateur fights.
You don't need
either.
400. No.
You don't need 280. I mean, that's the more. There's a fine line with that as far as amateur fights. There is too many amateur fights, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's hard to get them fighters out of that amateur mode.
Like Rigondeaux.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
Yeah.
You know, me personally, I think 90 to 170, 150 amateur fights is plenty.
I think Ryan Garcia is another guy that hasn't moved out of that amateur pedigree yet. He's still out. He still fights. Nothing on him because he is good. But he still fights like an amateur. The chin's still up in the air. He throws lots of arm and shoulder punches and doesn't sit down. And I see that in a lot of his work, too.
That comes on a coach, too. Coach has got to work with them on that.
Well, yeah. Isaac Bentecourt Sabian says, the difference of athleticism here. Loma shoots from angles, but Teo has shown he can, too. But Teo is going to rough it up. Everyone has their Achilles heel. Maidana was a tough opponent for Floyd because he didn't let him move the way he wanted to. I think Loma outlands him, but I think Teo has the recipe to end it. Well, I mean,
he absolutely does have the recipe to. I think that's what we're kind of saying here. Me more so than James, but James also just feels that Loma will
a little experienced.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on the same page as that. Like when I say, I'm not saying. I mean, it's hard to explain. The way I'm looking at it, without taking anybody, is Teofimo stands a chance of catching Loma and changing the fight himself.
That can happen
and
anytime.
Bullying, and he's got the speed and power. Teofimo is a fantastic fighter.
Yes.
Got all the goods.
Yep.
But at the same time, we've heard from all these top guys that Loma has fought, and they were good fighters. Rigondeaux is probably one of the most dynamic fighter that we've seen, and everybody thought the same thing until
Rigondeaux was going to win.
Yeah, until Loma beat him, and then obviously Rigondeaux's old and washed up and everything else.
Well, what's it going to be next week, Kelly? Oh, Teofimo was he's going to be too young. He's going to be not experienced. He's going to be overrated.
Yeah. So
His dad's fault.
It's not out of the question for Lomachenko to go in there and do that to Teofimo too. So this is a fight where I say, like, I'm going to sit back, watch it. I don't think any of us are discrediting Teofimo at all.
I like Teofimo.
Yeah.
We've met him how many times. He's a good kid. His dad's a nice guy.
Exactly.
But look, this show is not who's a nice guy. I mean, it's not the punchline. We root for the nice guy because it's not.
Yeah.
I've met Teofimo more than I have Lomachenko.
Yep, and that's the thing. We have seen Lomachenko fight these guys. We've seen him fight
fights.
Yeah, we've seen him fight Linares. We've seen him fight
Sosa,
the last kid, Sosa,
Rigondeaux,
Easter, Rigondeaux. Or was it? Yeah, was it Easter?
Oh, no, it wasn't Easter.
No, who was the other guy, the tall one?
Walters. Nick.
We've seen him fight these guys.
We were in camp. We saw Nick in camp. You remember for that fight? Remember that?
And Pedraza.
Pedraza. Yeah.
I mean, we see those are good fucking fighters, guys. We've seen what he could do. Simon says, so let's get these in order. Soapboxing,
Yeah.
rooting for Teal. If I'm forced to pick a winner, I guess Loma wins. If Teal clips him, won't shock me. That's where we're kind of going. Simon says, I think an empty arena hurts Teal more than Loma.
Yes.
Lopez seems to thrive off the crowd, but then again, everyone spars without a crowd.
Yep.
This whole audience thing, I think after 3 rounds, you're kind of
you're in a zone.
You got it. Against the Rope podcast. What's up? Stack card on Saturday. Yes, we'll be looking at it. Oh yeah, and Foreman Carrasco corrected us. How do we forget one of the bigger ones that Lomachenko beat was Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah, he tap danced Gary Russell Jr.
Yep.
It says Jason says Salido missed weight when he fought Loma. Didn't he knock Loma down? I don't think he knocked him down. Mm-hmm. He didn't knock him, but he was 20 pounds heavier, and Loma had his first. See, that's the problem. They hold that Salido fight. This was his second pro fight, man.
Second pro fight.
And a first world title fight, and then he fought a guy with 50 pro fights.
And don't give me the fucking. He fought 450 amateur fights, and that he
396 and 1, 395 and 1.
Yeah, or he fought the first 4 fights. No, it's totally different going 12 rounds, guys. So if you don't know, don't use that one.
Then Harley says, even if Loma does get caught, he's shown his ability to rebound and get off the canvas because he's in fantastic shape. And you put it on the microphone.
I did that already too.
Take that off, like here.
That's good.
No, you're fucking around.
That's perfect.
You're fucking around. No, but the better shape you are, I know, guys. You guys know this. I'm speaking to the choir. But the better shape you are, the easier you recover.
Yeah.
And that goes without saying.
Yep. Uncle Sham, I hope they ain't playing fake crowd noise at the fight.
I think they will. They've been doing that.
Steve Connor goes, you think Loma will have to change anything?
I do. I think a little bit. I think he may have to keep his hands up a little more. I think he may have to keep his hands up a little more, and I think he instead of going backwards like he does, maybe more. I don't want to go backwards. That big guy with that long range, you get caught at the end.
Yeah. No, he may. As soon as he feels the power,
or get lazy.
Loma
gets lazy.
He does, but I don't think he's going in against this guy. It's a little different.
Yeah. I'm looking for Teofimo to knock Loma before the 5th round. What do you think? I think that's a big if. But yeah. Loma via destruction. Harley says. Esteban says, regardless who wins, are you guys thinking a rematch may happen? I don't know. It depends how close it is.
Yeah.
Loma's not a big rematch guy. He's not.
Unless he beats you.
Yeah. He's not a big rematch guy.
He has no reason to give a rematch.
He didn't ask for little Salido either. Yeah. He just doesn't ask for him.
Against the Rose goes, Gary Russell in his 3rd pro fight. Laugh out loud. People still don't give Loma credit. I know. I know, dude. Uncle Sham says, during the HBO broadcast, Roy Jones says Salido has the worst style for any amateur just going pro.
Yeah, he's just rough and tough and a 50 pro fight, 2-time champion. Yeah. Nick Walters was a man and Nick Walters could crack. We watched him spar in LA. Was he working with no, you didn't go that one, did you? That was me, sorry. He was sparring the champion there too. El Titre, the magician, the puppet master. He was fucking great, and I just saw the power Walters had.
Yeah, good fighter.
Yeah, because he could nearly kill Donaire when he hit him.
Yep. Simon says Loma rallied and had Salido going in the 12th.
He did have him going.
And then Salido avoided a rematch. Yep.
I trained him for 5 years with his father. He's stronger than Loma, Kelly. Who did you train? I don't know.
What does that have to do with anything, though?
I don't know. I think
why is people trying to start arguments?
I think William just wants to tell you he trained people. That's what he wants to do.
I don't.
Okay. Cool.
What part? I'm over here saying that it's going to be a great fight. And
he wants to argue with you.
It's a 50-50 fight.
He wants to tell you. He wants to tell you, I fucking told you so, champ.
I don't get it. I'm saying it's a fucking even matchup.
He trained Loma. He probably trained Teofimo or whatever. I don't care.
Salido got knocked out a few times.
William, no one's saying Teofimo's not stronger than Lomachenko.
We just said that Teofimo's stronger.
He's bigger and stronger. No one is saying.
Yeah.
No wonder he's not training him anymore. Look, no one's saying that. What we're saying is
Oh man.
Lomachenko has a way of taking your strengths and using them against you. That's what we're saying. Whether he's big or stronger, stronger is not the end all be all. This is not the NFL. This is boxing.
We just said that. We said that Loma that's the thing he does good is against the stronger guys. Stronger.
Like Walters. Sosa was a stronger guy than him.
Oh God, I get a headache, man. Oh, you guys listen. You see where we say now that sometimes
William says he's just stronger. Loma has been exposed. You gotta be. Are you fucking serious right
don't
now?
even. It's a troll. Trent Salito got knocked out a few times when he first turned pro. When he was only 15 years old.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
But Dennis said, do you expect knockdowns? I do. I would not be fine if Loma gets dropped. Do I see Teofimo? I see him getting clipped too.
Yeah.
It could happen. These guys, I've seen Teofimo hurt in a couple fights myself, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't even.
You're stressing yourself out.
No, I can't. No, I just can't. I don't get it. I mean, I don't.
Because he didn't want to talk boxing. He wants to tell you he trained Teofimo, or he wanted to tell you he trained with Teofimo.
Oh, it's just frustrating.
He just wanted to flex.
They're
and
taking our words and just fucking
that's what they
twisting
do.
the shit out of it.
He just wanted to flex and tell you he trained Teofimo. Like, I give a fuck.
I don't get it.
But and then he wants to tell you that he's stronger. Yes,
I do. That's the only time that really fucking gets to me, and I shouldn't say it because now it's gonna keep coming. But when people do that, like when you're twisting my fucking words, I don't. It's hard.
Look, he's stronger. Teofimo is stronger than Lomachenko. You can look at them and see that. Teofimo's 22 years old, right?
Yeah.
Lomachenko's a 33, 34-year-old man now.
Yeah.
And he's smaller. He came from featherweight. This guy came from 22.
Yeah, he's not going to get into a strength match with him.
But the thing is, Lomachenko takes what you're good at, like your strength, your physical strength, and will use it against you.
Yep.
He will push you.
Uncle Sham says, can Danny G beat Spence? He can, but it all depends on, we don't know, but what Spence comes to fight. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people out there saying Spence is done or this or that. I'm leaning with Spence in this fight. He's that strong and good of a fighter, but it's not a cakewalk. Danny G can fight. Danny G's been looking sharp his last couple fights. Against the Ropes podcast says, for the most part, we see the boxer neutralizing that power. Very versus Wilder.
You know what, William? I mean, you're riding Teofimo's nuts, but you don't work with him anymore. His dad saw something that we see. Is that what it is? Because you trained with him for 5 years, but you gone. You gone. There's other trainers now. He said, Loma get knocked down from knockdowns. What do you think he can, with your females, ride home? He will do nothing with it. And Loma is not going to be able to twist, in turn, him like he does everyone else. I know what I'm talking about. A-Train a lot. T-R-A-I-N, A-Train. A lot of champions. Don't mock me. I wasn't mocking you. I'm just telling you you're a fucking retard.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay.
Block him. So tell.
I'm good. I don't even know how to do that shit. What do you guys think about Loma's age at this point? Has he slowed? I think a little bit. I think Loma's age has shown a little bit.
I don't know yet.
You don't know?
But that could be a factor. And again, with the skills that if it has, with the type skills that Teofimo has, that's the biggest thing on this fight for me. That's why I have it like I do. Again, we talked about this over and over. With Lomachenko's style, if he loses that much, that makes a difference. Lomachenko's not like a Triple G or somebody who has that power and that style of just breaking you down and where the power is the last to go. A guy like Triple G could fight till he's 38 years old and still be in contention to win a world title.
Because that power is always going to be there.
Lomachenko's whole arsenal is based off his reaction time and speed. And when you lose that at the level that he's at against a guy like Teofimo, that's not good because Teofimo is that sharp. Teofimo is just not a power puncher. He's fast. He can hit. He can bang.
They're arguing with you about rooting for Teofimo.
Who?
The guy, he's arguing about you saying good things about Teofimo.
Oh.
That must have been a bad split. You know what I mean?
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. This was sideways quick, bro.
Or a good split. Did Triple G retire? I don't know. Against Ropes said, ignore him. I do. Yeah. It's hard, but when they keep coming on, and against Ropes, you guys, now all you guys watching, seeing that I'm over here 50-50 on the fight, giving all the compliments, and this dude just comes
I'm
on.
the one that's 70-30. Kelly's 50-50 on this fight. I'm 70-30 because I don't have a reputation to lose. Nobody gives a fuck what I think. Kelly has to be more objective on the fight. I'll just say
but I am
80-20.
Yeah.
80-20 Loma all day because you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, if I do pick Loma, the reason why I'm leaning Loma is because of experience.
Similar to Roy Jones, thanks, guys. Yeah, it's true, Isaac. I mean, Roy was another one of those guys. Once that shell of that timing and that speed went away, it was not the same. And that's what Lomachenko has. And that's what Floyd Mayweather has. That
Floyd's style a little different. Floyd could still, because a lot of Floyd's defense the last couple of years was not so much off timing and reflexes as it was to just knowing how to lure you in to make you miss, because he was so smart. He would read, knew what you were leading with and what you kept doing, and then he would bring you in to make you miss and set you up.
I agree with that. And Roy's always evolving. You know what I mean? He was like that. Remember Terminator 2, that liquid dude? Like, he just always found a different way to fuck you up.
Trent says, what do you think about all these Uzbeks training with Joel Diaz? Matarov, Bully, Beck.
You know what? Joel Diaz is a good trainer.
He is.
I don't have anything bad to say about Joel.
He got a good style with his guys.
Me personally, though, Joel Diaz is a great trainer. I think he's too offensively minded for me. I want my fighter to be defense 50-50, offense. Joel may be a little more offensive minded for some of the fighters I like, and I think that's what's the problem with him and Virgil Ortiz at first. Joel Diaz wanted Virgil Ortiz to become some kind of wrecking ball and just walk through everybody. He took a lot of shots. I think as soon as Robert Garcia got him, his defense is down to what did people average? 11% punches. They land 11% on him, and he's still a wrecking ball.
The kid's got phenomenal boxing skills.
I think it's like going to Freddie Roach for defense. No, I go to Freddie Roach for offense and how to beat you.
Against the ropes. Boxing fans are never happy. I know, man.
They just, it's not that he's happy. He just wants everybody to know that he, apparently trained Teofimo Lopez. He wanted to say, if all he had to do was say that, and I'd have given him props. Hey, you did a great job.
I know.
But Kelly, you're wrong. Yeah. And he's bigger and stronger.
I know I'm going with Teofimo. I work with him. I know what he does in camp. That should be a great fight. Why? I mean, what's so hard about that?
Kelly, if he wins, can I get on your show to shut him up? Who are you going to shut up? Me? A lot of people say it, but they never do it, do they?
Is that that same guy?
Yeah, he's going to get on your show to shut me up. What's he going to do? A lot of people say it, but has it ever happened?
No.
These hands are rated E for everyone, bitch.
I guess Trent says you never only on offense or only on defense. No, you're both.
You're both.
The countering is the biggest part. A super good counter puncher always stands a great chance of winning a fight or winning a world title.
I'm going to text Teofimo's dad. I'm going to ask about him. That's going to be funny. And I'm going to post what he says about you, Will. Mr. McGriff, I'm going to post what kind of trainer you are, because that's what I do.
You should.
I am. I got his number on my phone. Ghost, I've always wanted to ask you this. Isaac said, Ghost, I've always wanted to ask you this. As a fan of yours, as well when you were fighting, how was it to be in the ring with Hopkins? Is he a frustrating boxer, or did anyone frustrate you the same?
Again, it's hard to explain on that one. It wasn't me that night in that fight, but I can give you an answer. He is super fucking smart. He is very savvy. And it's all the little things. I mean, it's everything. It's not like that Bernard does one little trick and it's like, whoa, magic. It's all little steps and things that he does that sets up, and that's what makes Hopkins as good as he is. I mean, he's another one like Floyd Mayweather. Anytime you see Hopkins in there, when he steps and takes a break and walks back to the ropes and walks around the ropes before he engages again, that's because he's already setting, that whole time during that walk, he's setting up another attack, another strategy, another plot. And that's why he's one of the greatest of all time.
That's awesome. Will's crying. That guy's crying because he goes, that's a lot of disrespect for me. Appreciate it. He just said he wanted. I disrespected him.
Will, you came on.
And then he's going to shut me up.
You came sideways at us, bro.
He said he didn't want to shut me up. and he's mad about me disrespecting him because I said he's a half-ass trainer. That's why he's fired.
No,
And I've never heard his name. Bro, have you ever heard his name?
No, but
I've never heard his name.
I don't. I mean, I'm not coming down.
Hey, I don't give a fuck. I've been to every I'm part of every USA boxing.
But he did come sideways.
He came sideways. I have never heard that motherfucker's name. He's a bucket gimp. You a bucket gimp? Bucket gimp. Teofimo, do you need a towel? Get the fuck out of here. I don't care, man. I'm being disrespectful because he's a bitch. Bucket gimp.
When he comes at you, man.
What? How many times have I heard that? How many times it ever happened? I'll pay for the Greyhound ticket.
Don't meet halfway. Kenny Loggins it.
Kenny Loggins it.
Meet me halfway.
I will challenge you to a boxing match. Hey, let's start with the spelling bee. Let's start with that first. How's that? If you beat me in the spelling bee, I'll box you. Let's try this. Loser.
Steve Connor goes, what do you guys think of Paul Kroll?
I've never heard of you. And sorry, and I know everybody on the U.S. team.
I never really heard of Paul Kroll. I'm sorry, Steve. I don't know that name. You know Paul Kroll?
I don't know Paul Kroll. But I've never heard. I know everybody on the USA national team.
No, this is different, I think.
What did he say? Who won? You know?
Who do you think of Paul Kroll?
I don't know who he is, but
Me either.
Tell us.
Oh yeah, so that's another topic. We'll leave that kid alone.
Maybe.
Uncle Sham, Wilder dumped his trainer. So I got asked that on.
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
What's his name's podcast? Malik.
Yeah, you know.
Malachi. And no, listen. Wilder won. I mean, he's the one going in fighting. He's the one putting his life on the line. And if you don't feel comfortable, I think Shields is a good trainer.
It's not Ronnie Shields.
Or who was he with?
Breland, Mark Breland.
Well, I mean, Breland. I think Breland's a great trainer, but
I don't know.
Kelly. If he wanted to leave though, if he feels something ain't right, he's not wrong for it, guys. I mean, that's the way he feels. I mean, if he's not comfortable, I think Breland's a great trainer, and I would want to listen to Breland train or his tutorial, but. It's not wrong for it.
I don't know, Kelly. Breland was one of the very few that watched out for him in that last fight. He did the right thing.
I understand that.
And I think right now Wilder, he's been looking for everybody to blame but himself.
No, I know, but
he's been looking at everybody. If he feels getting rid of Breland's going to help, then so be it.
I get that, but Breland and nobody else, or the manager, or us fans, or podcast host. Nobody else is getting in that ring. That's, so if he's somewhere up here, and who fucking knows what Wilder, if he here.
Yeah.
Now, what would be wrong is if the fight was 2 weeks out and Breland got him all the way ready for it, and then he decides, hey, I'm bouncing, I'm going over with this guy, and tries to fuck him over, then that's when it turns where it's ignorant and not right.
Like I said, for me, I think Breland was one of the very few people that was looking out for his safety.
Yeah.
And that has to be said a lot about his character.
Yeah. I mean, we could all agree, I think that.
But I think if it wasn't for Breland, there would have been a lot more. It would have been a lot worse that night.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I can't speak for Wilder.
Right. He did make a lot of excuses.
Yeah, he did.
And even Uncle Sham says it wasn't Breland's fault. It was the costume he wore in the ring.
Yeah, that was that 45-pound costume, right? But he was running with a military vest on. But like I said, we're not in that position. I can't say if he did the right thing or what. He has to do what's right for his career. So if firing Breland is the right thing, only he knows. Between him and his God and his pillow, when he puts his head down at night, he knows the truth.
Exactly.
And that's for him to figure out. None of us can.
And that may fuck with him too. He may be regretting it. You guys are probably made his day. He gets to say he had a combo with Kelly and James.
Well, yeah, he's going to beat me up, so whatever.
Well, look, so Paul Crowe was on the 2016 Olympic team and had his 8th pro fight on PBC last weekend. 147-pounder from Philly.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, that the 2016 has been really sporadic for only a few guys.
There's another guy I've seen parts of, and actually Jason Elliott brought it up to me. Abraham at 147, a kid. Abraham, upcoming prospect.
Yeah.
He looks pretty sharp. I'm not seeing much on him right now, like some of the other prospects, but he looks pretty sharp.
Guys, what we do on the show is me and Kelly aren't these guys that chase fighters, and we watch them as they come along like you. We watch the boxing when they come, and then we pick it up from there. We're not historians. I'm not a boxing historian. Kelly's not a historian. What we do is we watch the fights like you do, and we break the fights down with technique, and we break down their attributes. This is what the show is. Like, a lot of you guys know more about the up-and-comers than we do. I'll be the first to admit it. And that's why.
I ain't gonna lie. It's hard for me to watch
Yeah.
every weekend of a fight.
Yeah, and that's why we bring you guys. That's why we open the comments, because you guys educate us a lot on different fighters to look for, because we wouldn't know. Like I said, most of us, Kelly has multiple businesses going on, and I'm a writer. I have another job on the side and stuff like that. So I write for TV. So we use you guys to educate us on the new fighters coming in, and that's what your guys' job is for this show, to help us out. But there's a good question. Esteban says, I know he denied it, but do you think Wilder had a busted eardrum from that first fight? He seemed off. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I mean, he was a little off.
But you would pick that up.
I think anytime a 270-pound man hits you, you're going to be a little off.
Yeah, anybody over 200 pounds.
You think since I'm 200 over, I can do that with somebody, or no? You think so? Yeah. It'd be off if I hit him? That's the nicest shit you ever said to me, Kelly.
Hit him right in the ear.
Kelly, that's the nicest shit you ever said to me.
I always say nice things to you.
Not one time, only on my birthday.
No.
You just said that 80-year-old Wilma Griffin beat my ass.
Who said that?
You did.
I did not.
I swear to God you didn't. I know you did.
I did not.
I just want to keep it going.
Might as well. You might as well do it tonight. Everybody's throwing words in the mouth.
Right. Harley said, Isaac said, is Fury the best heavyweight of this era? What do you think? I can't even argue it. I can't argue it, man. As much as I'm not a fan of Fury, his work is proven.
He does good.
Yeah.
Connor goes 147-pound division. Just going to keep getting more crazy. Great time for it is. And Uncle Sham said, is Pacquiao versus McGregor actually happening?
Yes.
I think so.
It is. I don't. Well, that's what they said. That's what they said. But now they changed it. I've been hearing Mikey again throwing back in there. I don't know. And Mikey and I talked to Mikey and we talked to Robert quite a bit, and they're being like,
what's up, Damon?
They're not really like putting it out there. So there's a reason.
I'd like to see Pacquiao go out with McGregor. Although I just think it's really unfair. I mean, McGregor to size difference just fucking crazy.
I'd rather see Manny go out with Mikey, wouldn't you?
For Mikey's sake, yeah. Because I like to see Mikey keep making. Mikey's a ballsy heart fighter who's great for the sport, and I think, that's why I would like to see that.
Harley Westerland says, what do you guys think of the heavyweight division? Do you think that Joshua Wilder mess will get sorted out in 2021? You don't think Usyk can grab a belt 2021? Absolutely, Usyk can grab a belt.
I think they're going to make a push for it.
He has a good fight coming up. Usyk.
Who you got?
That fucking... Somebody else, guys. Usyk's fighting this week.
It's this week?
Yeah. I do. What do you think? Do you think about the heavyweight division? Do you think they're going to make a good push?
I think it's because I think it's fucking loaded. You guys are going to say I'm crazy. You got a bunch of giants. I mean, like real life giants that could fight and that are athletic and they're not sloppy. Well, Tyson Fury's sloppy looking, but he's not
sloppy.
Not sloppy.
Fantastic boxer. Al says, "Hey guys, been a while. Big love and from Ireland as always. What do you make of the light heavyweight division? Lots of big fights to be made, but sure to kick Hearn's ass for stealing your title. Yes, kick his ass, Al. I think light heavyweight division is my favorite division. The problem is nobody's fighting in that division. They're not making the big fights, and I don't know why they're holding these guys back. There's some big fights there. I don't know if they're waiting for the fans to come back, but that's my favorite division. Them and the welterweights are my favorite.
Those super middleweights still interesting because they're all bouncing back and forth. Damon says, which I want to hop on now. How far can Navarrete go with his size, range, and off-time style?
We're going to talk about that fight coming up, so.
Yeah. Well, might as well try to get to it.
William says it was 60-pound costume. It was a 45-pound costume. It was weight at the commission. It was a 40-pound costume, 45, not 60. Bobby, what's up, Bobby? Hey, sorry about Bobby's father, right?
Bobby Mill. Oh, yes.
I just want to give you our condolences, Bobby. I saw that your father passed. I'm so sorry.
Damn, oh man, I forgot.
But I just want to tell you, I was thinking about you, bro. And if you need anything, let me know.
Bobby,
okay?
I'll text you later, or I'll figure something out. I gotta sign something for his buddies.
Isaac said, "Love Mikey, made a living off of 1-2." I think Mikey has a full arsenal. I think you let Mikey. Mikey has a fantastic uppercut, and he has a great 3. He's dropped a lot of people with that hook.
Yeah.
Frampton and Herring will happen, yeah. Frampton and Herring. You know what? That's a rough fight for both of them. I don't even know who I'm gonna. I love Jamel Herring, and I love Frampton, so it's a hard.
It's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with Herring because he's my buddy. I'm gonna go because Herring's my. Homie.
I'm gonna move into the Navarrete fight.
All right, move in
because it's already 20 till.
Okay.
It's Navarrete. I think no. I personally, I think if he goes any higher in the weight class he's at now, he's pushing it. I mean, if they match
30?
him,
you don't think 30?
I just don't. Here's my take on it. He's going to be a hard guy to beat. He really is. And I think the only way that you're going to beat him is getting somebody. It kind of reminds me of like me versus Miranda. Trying to outbox Navarrete is very dangerous. He throws punches from all different angles. He's got super heavy hands, and he hurts people. This last kid, Vila, he hurt him with a punch
this was a quality fighter. This was a class fighter.
Yeah, I mean, so Navarrete is just he throws a shitload of punches. He's big, he's in great shape, and he hits that hard. But I did see things where he covers up, he leaves the body wide open, he gets hit flush with punches. They're not that fast. If you get somebody who could suck it up, get in there, quick, hard counter shots, I think somebody could ring his bell and probably knock him out.
Shakur Stevens.
If Shakur fights that fight. If Shakur tries to move around and outside, he's in Navarrete's wheelhouse.
Gary Russell.
I think Gary Russell's the type of guy that could go right to Navarrete, yes, and beat him.
If he's not 45 when he fights him.
I don't think that the only thing I'm worried about is does Russell have enough pop to really keep Navarrete? Because listen,
I don't know.
You get somebody that can get hit and counter Navarrete that will slow him down. Believe me.
You know, the thing is, even when Navarrete makes a big mistake, it's not a mistake because he does something else behind it. He completely bent over his knee. He overshot his left hand, his straight left. He overshot that, overextended it, and then threw a short right and landed it. I was like, dude, how do you do that?
He's hard. They said him versus Inoue. No, I think that's the best
too
fight
small.
for
Inoue's
Inoue.
too small. Inoue's only 118 right now, and this guy's 26
nothing
now.
Inoue will be able to do to hurt Navarrete.
Inoue would sting him up, but I think eventually Inoue, we know that Inoue can be hurt. Donaire had hurt him multiple times.
Damon even says, he goes, is Navarrete coachable or does he do what he wants? You're not going to change that style now, and why would you want to change his style, Damon? There's nothing to coach at
32 fights, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, and he's got that far. That's why if Navarrete, not being mean when I say this, if he tried to fight from a regular orthodox technical way, he would not be nowhere near as good as he is right now.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be. That's what makes him so dangerous, is the way he fights.
Navarrete is a guy that when he was like 15, he was watching YouTube videos with no training, and he put gloves on and started doing what they did on YouTube, and he got good at it. And there's nothing about him that looks great, but everything he does works. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It just works. And he's one of the very few.
Power.
You know who he reminds me of? Not really, but Nassim Hamed. Hamed was one of those guys, everything never worked, but it worked for him.
I think he reminds me so much of Mayorga.
Mayorga too?
I mean, so much of Mayorga.
I think yeah.
What do you think of EFE Ajagaba?
Oh, that motherfucker crack.
Well, no wonder why his name is Word of the Day, because that was a
crack.
Yeah.
Henry Garcia's middleweight booming with guys from 54 coming up and guys stepping up in their natural weight. I think Canelo, Boo Boo, and Charlo dominate. It's a booming weight class. Oh, Henry, I definitely agree. I think middleweight is a good weight class. But is Canelo really a middleweight anymore? Is he a super middleweight or is he a light heavy?
I like to see him go back to middleweight and clear out that. I'd like to see him go back and beat
68
Charlo.
would be nice.
I mean, there's more for him to do at middleweight.
But
I like to see him clear out or try to clear out Charlo or Andrade. Everybody's saying that
Yeah.
Navarrete reminds him of Margarito. See, I don't. I think way more. Margarito was technical though. I mean,
A little
Margarito
more
threw.
technical.
Yeah, he threw more sharper, cleaner punches. Navarrete reminds me of like a Mayorga where you just don't know where it's coming from.
And but I
And
think
it's hard.
Navarrete. I think even Navarrete throws straighter punches than Margarito,
I don't.
or not Margarito, but Mayorga threw these ugly looping hand rights. You know what I mean? And he just landed them.
That's
But look,
that's the
yeah,
Navarrete
but look
throws.
what happened every time Mayorga.
Navarrete was all
But
over.
look what every time Mayorga stepped up, he got the shit beat out of him. That's not happening to Navarrete. You know what I mean?
Yeah, was I guess Rove says one Navarrete. How much of a difference does that make, Kelly? Fighting someone who's not very conventional like Sergio Martinez makes a big difference when you're not used to it. You're not used to it, and especially when a guy hits as hard as Navarrete, you're kind of like screwed. You're going. I don't want to get caught by these punches,
Yeah.
and I don't even want to get tapped by him because he hits that hard. Everything he has that he throws hurts people. It's heavy-handed. It's really hard. I mean, you got to really. I think my opinion, the best strategy is to get in there and try to stay in within his range and back him up and bring the fight
Yeah.
to them.
You know, Oscar.
Fire with fire.
Do you remember that when Oscar said back? He said in a Ring magazine a long time ago, but I don't know you probably remember when he said it. He said the hardest fighters to fight are these wildcats that aren't really trained.
Mhm.
They're not trained in the system. We know the USA system.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they're going to do. And with the USA boxing system or the Olympic system, not in USA boxing, we're trained with 1, 2, 3, slip, 1, 2. When you have a guy that doesn't follow those rules and he just comes over and hits you with an overhand right, you're not ready for that sometimes. It takes a little bit longer for you to adjust if you're one of those fighters. Sergio Martinez wasn't trained in that USA box or the Olympic boxing system, so he was a little off like that too. It took a little bit to track
Sergio
down.
was still a lot more conventional
Yes.
than these guys.
Oh yeah, but it take a while to track a guy down like that
It
because
is.
he's doing things.
But
He's
you
off,
got
his
you got to
timing's off
remember
there.
this. These guys, they are never your greats though, and there's a reason why. Because they didn't train that way and they don't know how to adapt.
Yeah.
And when you get fighters in there, Mayorga, he was in there. He won some big fights. He gave a lot of guys tough fights.
Until he stepped up to that A.
But he was not a great fighter. A lot of the only one really. I don't put Sergio Martinez in that cat. I thought he was a little more conventional than that. I think his feet was more awkward.
His timing was off. His timing was never this. Like his timing was even. I don't know. You know better than I do. I can't even argue with
different.
that. But his timing was not there. Like
Prince,
it would just hit you.
Yeah, Prince Nassim to me, when you're comparing them to Navarrete and Mayorga, I think them guys are way more technical.
Yeah.
I think their feet was the difference of
Yeah.
the way they moved around and danced. What I'm talking about with Navarrete and Mayorga is their punches are just not what they throw off the wrong foot, they miss, and they come back with something. When the regular fighter does that, you know they can't come back with something, and it keeps you okay.
He readjusts completely.
Yeah, these guys will come back with something and they hit you. But again, when they step up against the elite, it don't matter. It don't help them.
Bobby Mills says, "What is the hardest fight to have? Technical fighter or a hard puncher? I'd rather have a hard puncher any day than a technical fighter.
Yeah.
A hard puncher, I can usually work through. I'll work around. I know it's gonna hurt, but I can break down I can break down his flaws and get over it. But with a technical fighter, you're in for a long night. What do you think?
Same, yeah. A power guy, you could eventually catch on to it. You could look out for certain things. You could keep your hands up higher. You could catch them and get to them. A technical fighter, it's hard because they got a lot more in the arsenal.
Hey, Malachi's watching. Hey, how you doing, bro? Hey, do me a favor. Text Teofimo's dad and ask about Will McGriff training his son for 5 years. I know you have him on the dad on speed dial. Do that for me. We want to ask because he was on the show and he said he trained Teofimo for 5 years, taught him everything. So will you look that up for me? And then we're gonna get back to you. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
David says I'm actually watching it right now in a patient room.
Who's this?
The replay is on. Probably Navarrete.
Oh, who's watching it?
Damon.
Dude. You know, at first I thought Inoue would give Navarrete problems. I don't think so. I think he's just too small.
Yeah.
But you know, listen.
The firman says Kelly kind of like Bernard Hopkins, tricky.
Bernard Hopkins was trained in the system.
Yeah.
He was very technical.
Bernard was very
technical.
conventional. It's hard. You guys seen the Navarrete fight and you've seen Mayorga fight. That's totally different than Bernard Hopkins or Floyd Mayweather. Again, these guys, they just come off different angles. It's hard to fight, but a top guy catches on to it. Your elite world champions, that came up in the system, are just way too technical for that, and they're going to eat it up, and they're going to catch on. They may struggle. For example, Oscar De La Hoya versus Mayorga.
De La Hoya ate him up because he was in the system.
You know, and he was a top guy, and he knew how to.
Shane Mosley nearly killed him, didn't he?
Yeah, they had a hard time at first. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but they caught on real quick.
Did you think De La Hoya had a problem with Mayorga? De La Hoya put him down 13 seconds in and just beat him up.
But there were some issues a couple times. De La Hoya got hit with some shit that, it was hard to pick up.
You know what?
But he caught on quick.
Is it me? But did you think De La Hoya had probably one of the greatest chins in boxing? I have never seen him knocked out from a shot on the chin. It was a body shot. One time that did it. It was a body shot from Bernard. Other than that, I've never seen him knocked out. He's been dropped. But he got dropped early at 30. You know what I mean? And Corte dropped a horse. But he had a great chin.
He did.
And people don't think of that.
You don't ever get the credit. Uncle Sham says, this is a good one. Do you think Hopkins and Andre Ward's styles were similar? Yes, I do.
He said to DM his name. It was Will McGriff.
I think Andre Ward, and here's where I'll tell you where it's similar. They throw the punches, and then they use their body to come in and grab you and rough you up a little bit and throw you out, get you out of your game and get you out of your game plan and frustrate you. And that right hand was sneaky when they threw it. I mean, they came in, it was all in one with their body. So they came in, they kind of led with it. It was quick, but they frustrate you. Then they get you on the inside and hit you with little shots. They would step around you. I think Andre Ward and Hopkins' style are very similar.
Malachi said he told me twice now on the show he's been Teofimo only trainer his entire career. That guy said that. He was Teofimo's trainer. But DM Holy's name, I'll ask. I got you. So we know everybody, guys. We can always get, if you make a claim, we will find it. If you tell me you're Oscar's first trainer, I'm going to ask. Unless you're not a dick about it, then I'll just say, yeah, you're Oscar's first trainer. If you're not a dick, if you're not a dick, I'll say, whatever, man. Hey, that's awesome. I'm happy that you trained Harry Greb. You were Harry Greb's first trainer. I'm happy, bro. That was awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, Harry Greb, God.
Hey, I trained Jack Johnson in 1910. Hey, that's awesome, bro. I'm happy that you trained Jack Johnson.
First trainer.
But you tell me that you're Jack Johnson's first trainer and you're going to come fuck me up, I'm going to do everything to discredit you. Martin's watching. Hey, what's up? But you know what? But I'm not taking away nothing from Villa either. That kid was a good fighter, and he was young, and
here's what goes to show you in that. Villa was actually picking it up in the last couple rounds, and he was catching Navarrete. And I understand Navarrete had the fight in the bag, and it was over with.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's what shows me, like what I'm saying overall. It's going to take somebody who's strong, good chin, and in good shape. But I definitely think that Navarrete is, after watching that fight, is very beatable. By the right guy.
Who do you think the right guy is?
At that weight, it's hard.
I think Shakur would beat him.
That's what I'm saying. If Shakur goes in with the right game plan, I absolutely think Shakur.
And maybe Gary Russell.
Yeah, I just don't know if Gary Russell has quite. Does he have more pop than Shakur?
No, Shakur just. Or what about
Well, whoever got more pop is going to stand a better chance.
Yeah, I think Shakur does. He's bigger, but Shakur just dusts people. You know, when he hits them, and Shakur was a guy that got that. For me personally, I thought Shakur. When those prospects all came out, I thought Shakur was that second level prospect, and I was wrong because that dude, he got better and he shot up there. He's up there with Haney, and he's up there with Ortiz and Haney, and you know what I mean, and Teofimo.
Yes, Rope says Navarrete.
Yeah, Navarrete.
Yeah,
Navarrete.
I thought I was right the first time.
Yeah.
And then the second time I corrected myself and went to Navarrete.
Navarrete. It doesn't
Thanks
matter.
against the rope, but Navarrete.
Navarrete.
Yeah, people might be like me, stopping the fight and running over to the corner when Lewis called me pelvic.
Or hey, fix my name.
We'll put PAV /LICK.
Dude, I've seen your name spelled some crazy fucking ways, man.
Yeah.
Palvik, Palvik.
Yeah. Well, there's the PAVLIC.
I see the one with S, Pavlix.
Yeah.
That's usually a drunk guy saying that, though. Kelly fucking Pavlix! I ain't seen you since I babysat you, or I beat you up in 2000.
Right.
Everybody beat you up.
Yeah, 98, 99.
Yeah. Remember that time we sparred? Everybody sparred you, too.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you've had 300,000 sparring partners, and they all come from this town, this area.
It's kind of funny because I've really only had like 3 main ones.
Yeah, but everybody sparred you. I remember when I sparred Callie at Jack's gym down the road. I had to lay it on him that night.
Jack's gym down in East Palestine.
Jack's gym over there in Salem. And I'm looking at him like, I'm sitting there drinking. I know you're lying. Hey, next time you tell him I want my rematch, he's like 285 pounds. You know what I mean? Bald and shit. Tell him I want my rematch.
Yeah, Kelly's home gym there in Calcutta.
Newport behind his ear and shit. A pair of Crocs. Talking about at a board shorts, saying that he used to box with you. You know.
Damn it! So Kelly was on cocaine the whole time. Morales did to Pac. Remember what Barrera did to Prince? Now
that was ugly.
Yeah,
that was ugly. But there we go, talking about when you have that guy that is trained properly and did not get rattled by that power.
Exactly. So I mean, the unconventional style, it is frustrating to some people. But again, you'll never see an unconventional type guy at top tier.
Bobby said, "I'll never forget my first fight ever seen by Harry Arroyo." Bobby, based on your situation, I am not going to make fun of you for calling him Harry Arrow. Based on your situation, you get a pass from me, buddy. But I'm. You know what? I've never seen Harry Arroyo until like on footage, like. You know, like I saw on footage. Harley says, talking middleweights, I feel like Plant is the most slept on that division. He's very slick. I think he frustrates most of the top guys in that division with his defense counterpunching.
At what weight?
At middleweight, but he's a super middleweight. But I understand what you're saying. I agree. I think Plant is good, but I think Benavidez is better.
Yeah, I don't think Plant could beat some of the top. I don't think he'll beat a Bivol or Benavidez or.
Well, Bivol at 68 is a monster.
If he ever, I mean, they've been talking about coming.
Oh, I think he said he has.
So I guess you know what? I guess Plant right now. I mean, he's
still holding on.
Top guys.
He's holding on that title. You know,
yeah.
White chocolate. But wasn't Shakur approached by Mayweather? Yeah, he was. He was offered like $2 million to sign Guadalupe, and I don't think he took it. Something happened.
Damon goes, who can rattle Canelo?
Nobody.
And at what division?
Nobody.
Well, at super middleweight and light heavyweight.
Well, no, rattle him you're not going to get to his head. You're not going to get, but that I think Benavidez.
Bivol, you're talking 75. Where he's still talking.
Beater beef. How do you say his fucking name?
Yeah,
better beef. Those guys will rattle him.
Against the ropes. Put the pronunciation
for who?
Better beef.
Put that one on there. It's beater off or better beef or. But it doesn't matter. Those dudes will lay it.
Betrivi.
Those dudes can lay it on Canelo.
Yeah, they can rattle him.
I think Bivol beats him easiest. I think that style, man. He's on his toes, and Canelo has to chase this dude, and he's hitting you going backwards. He's hitting you from angles.
Just being big
and
like
has power.
That. Yep, I agree.
All right. It says right here. Oh, Robert Gamache is watching. Malachi's laughing. My fault. I'd be itching for that Benavidez versus Plant fight. Oh, I would love to see it too. I would too, Harley.
Steve Connor says, genuine question. Do you guys think Benavidez is going to stay at 68 for the near future?
I don't think so.
That kid is so good.
He's big. I don't think so. He's every bit of 6'4", is he?
No.
You don't think so?
He's about 6. Right around 6'3", maybe a tad bit less.
That's a big fucking guy.
He is though, but he's just big. I mean,
we saw him in Dallas after the Mikey fight, and you know him. You sparred with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I saw him. I was like, God, that's a big fucking kid.
He is. I think he will go to 75, and I'm telling you, I think because there's a lot of big fights, and I think Bivol will probably stay at 75 himself because there's just so many big fights at that weight.
The problem is Bivol has said himself he's just too small. Like he walks around at the weight that he fights at, just a few pounds over. Bivol said he walks around about 178 to 180. You know, that's not a lot of room.
Hold on, Against the Ropes came in. We always hear bet tier B of.
Better be.
Better be.
Thank you guys. Against ropes. That's our homie right there. They got us.
Better
They got us.
Better
Bivol versus Better Beef. I would go with Bivol in that fight.
He's Russian, so maybe a Russian would.
What do you think, Kelly? Darren Shabbat says Bivol versus Better Beef. I'm gonna go with Bivol.
That's another hard one to pick.
We've seen
Better Biev. Better Biev.
That fucking power of Better Beef, though, man. It's just lights out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that boxing skill
He's
of
strong.
Bivol, that boxing skill of Bivol is dynamite too. I don't know. I'd have that a 50-50 fight there.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a 50-50.
Anything can happen in that fight.
Yeah.
He's 6'4" for sure, man.
Lionel Lupe says, "What is the hottest division?" I'm gonna go with welterweight still.
Yeah.
I think the welterweight division is still the hottest
because there's a lot of good prospects.
And they're actually fighting. The light heavyweight division isn't fighting.
Yeah. Steve Carter say 6'4" for sure, man. I sparred that kid once and never took such a whooping in my whole life. Yeah, no, Steve. Everybody's till of the tapes. Let me explain something to you. We've done that here at the gym.
Yeah.
The till of the tapes. And secondly, let me tell you, they had me 6'3", and I'm actually a tad under 6'2". So when I say I think 6'3", maybe okay, I'm gonna go at most 6'3.5". I'm gonna tell you right now. I can tell you this. Benavidez is not 6'4". So I know guys that are 6'4". He is not like
Usyk.
People have a hard time with the measurements, and I understand it because everybody always is taller. It's almost like the high school football program. You know, they had my brother one time listed at 6 foot, and he's 5'10". My brother Michael. So I'm not going to argue, but I know height.
Yeah, but that was 40 time correct.
He's not 2.5 inches taller than me.
Did they have that 40 time correct? Have like a 4.3? 4.4?
No, well, he was not a 4.3 40, and he was probably. I would say Michael was probably right around a
4.4.
Yeah, a little over 4.4. He could scoot, and that's scooting because that's another one. Since I got to the sports testing, people don't really got the concept of how fast 4.4 is.
Oh, I know how fast it is.
So a lot of people, when they do the testing, when they do it with their hand, if you test somebody and they run a 4.4 and you do it by hand, stopwatch, throw it out the window and don't tell anybody it was a 4.4, because chances are it was a 4.6, 4.6.5, maybe even a 4.7. That's a big difference.
Yeah, they do that the laser time. They do that. You'll see
our testing that we do is all laser.
Yeah.
Our gates and everything. So Canelo is really like 5'7".
Oh, my homie out here. What's up, James? What's up, Kelly? Oh man, that's our homie there. Oh, good man. We're just
Who's
doing
that?
Jair Martinez.
Oh,
We
cool.
always see him at all the fights. It's our homie.
Yeah.
He's always he hooks up with our credentials at the thing, and he's always dressed fancy at the fights too.
Man. Yeah.
He always dressed fancy. Like Jesus.
Pimping.
But yeah, man, I don't know how much longer we got.
We're done.
How come Justin hasn't done shit yet?
I don't know.
Did he die down there?
I might have to call him.
Let me see what's going on, guys. We still got the show going, but let me see. Let me see what's going on here. Our producer just took off.
Yeah.
He fucking quit, didn't he?
And I got to be home, fellas. I love sitting there bullshitting with you, but we're an hour show for a reason. Because if not, we just start rambling on.
Oh, dude, we ramble for the first 5 minutes on. We ramble the whole time. No, hey guys, if you have any questions till Justin gets here, just knock them out because we're stuck here until our producer shuts us off because I don't know how to do it. Do you? Mm-mm. I don't know how to use a computer. Dude, we're like two.
I know how to use that one, but
dude, we're like two gorillas, aren't we? We don't know how to do shit, do we? Without him, like we don't know.
I'll turn it off.
No, we don't know how to turn the light. I know how to turn the lights off, like the big lights.
I'll go and power that motherfucker off right now.
I know how to turn off the
big lights.
Yeah, the big lights.
Yeah, we tell stories in the dark.
And I know how to, but I don't know how to shut the computer off or the camera.
Thanks, Steven.
I could shut it off remotely.
Oh, okay. Are we done?
I can't see you and shut it off at the same time. I was trying to get down in there. I didn't have a phone still, so I couldn't.
Oh, shit.
I had to wait for dude to finish his set.
All right, guys. Well, that's the show. Have a great week, right?
Yes, guys. Tune into the real quick. Who are your top 3 pound for pound right now? Crawford, Loma, Canelo. Are Spence is in there?
Same with my 3. Crawford, Loma, Canelo.
Yeah.
Probably 6, 5.
Peanut Gallery, shut up.
Probably 6. He's had some bad
My
fights.
brother Ricky's here. All right, guys. Have a good one. Tune in.
All right, guys.